This is an art attack. This is an art attack. This is the Art Attack Easter Special. And welcome to this Art Attack Easter Special. Well, I thought we'd start off by making a nice traditional Easter present. No, it's not an Easter bunny, it's not an Easter egg, it's a traditional Easter rocket. Now, OK, what's a rocket got to do with Easter, I hear you say? Well, this one blasts off and then delivers your eggs. Come and have a look at this. Take the inside tube from 3 loo rolls and cut a vertical slit up 2 of them, and then put one to one side, open one out and just wrap it around the uncut loo roll tube like that, so you have one that fits snugly inside the other. And then cut a piece of thin paper or thick card that's wide enough and tall enough to fit across that gap, and then just very securely tape it into place. Now I'm just going to do it very quickly to show you, but you can put plenty of tape on and make it nice and secure. And there it is. And what you have is you have 2 loo roll tubes, one that moves freely across the top of the other, like that. And then take the outside one off, and this will be the body of your rocket. To make the nose cone of your rocket, take the other cut loo roll tube and just open that out lengthways, and starting in the bottom left-hand corner, fold a bit over, and then just keeping it very tightly, roll it back on itself to create a cone. I've got one end that I'm holding tight, and that other one is rolling very loosely, and that creates a cone. And then just insert your fingers into the wide end and open it out a little bit like that, and then just pop the whole thing over the body of your rocket and push it down right onto the body so it won't open out anymore. And then when that cone is firmly pushed down and it won't open out anymore, just tape it into place at the top like that, so that you're actually closing the cone off. You're fastening it, securing it, then take it off the rocket body and snip off all that excess cardboard at the bottom, or the bit that was hanging over the edge that you don't actually need. And there it goes. And then just pop the cone back on top of the rocket like that. And then tape that securely into place. And again, I'm doing everything really quickly here. You can take a lot more time to do it and get it a lot more neat. And I'm doing it. It doesn't really matter at this stage. You'll see why in a minute. And then when you've got the rough body of your rocket, just use the leftovers of the cardboard to create some triangular wings, and just tape them onto the side of the rocket, one there and one there. And you can adjust them as you're going, and when you're happy roughly with the shape of your rocket, mix some PVA glue in equal parts with water and slop the glue onto your rocket, all over the rocket. And yes, you know what I'm going to do here. The idea is to cover the whole thing in a layer of PVA glue and tissue paper or loo roll. I'm doing loo roll this time, just wrapping it into the glue, and you can paste more glue on the top and just covering all the cracks, cover the wings, and even cover the hole at the top. You don't need to do the inside this time. When you've covered the whole thing, leave it overnight to dry, and when it's dry, it'll look something like that. And there it is, rock hard and ready to paint. But before you paint it, draw a bit of your design onto it, a bit of your rocket design. And as a guide, I'm just going to draw 2 or 3 portholes. I think I'll put 3 portholes on it. One there, and one in there, and then another one there. I'm just doing this as a guide, doing it in rough, so that I can paint it. And then to paint it, use poster paint or acrylic paint. And I've managed to get hold of some silver acrylic paint, so I'm going to paint mine in a sort of metallic finish, or you don't have to do it silver, you could do it in a nice bright colour. I'm just going to slop this paint on here to show you. And you can paint the whole thing, take a lot of care over it, and when you've painted it, you'll have a rocket that looks something like that. Look at that. There it is. And see what I've done here? I've even gone over the wings in gold pen, so to give it a two-tone finish. And the whole thing is silver. I've painted the portholes blue, and I've even put some detail around the portholes, and even put these rivets and screws on, and on the plates as well, so it looks as if it's made up of metallic plates with rivets and screws. So that's the body of the rocket. To make the base of the rocket, take a square of cardboard, just cut it out from a cardboard box, and take the other loo roll tube that you didn't cut, and just dab some glue on the bottom rim of that loo roll tube. And again, it's best to use PVA glue for this, because it dries nice and hard, solid. And then just press your loo roll tube down onto the cardboard, hold it into place very firmly, and when it's dry, it won't take long to dry, you'll have something that looks like that. And then just simply draw a zigzag explosion around the bottom of the loo roll tube. There's a sort of explosive bit of fire at the base of the rocket. And again, take some acrylic paint or poster paint. And this time, if you paint red and yellow streaks, maybe a bit of orange in there as well, all the way up your tube, then it'll give it a sort of fire blast-off effect. And again, go over the base as well. When you've painted that up, cut the shape of that explosion out, and you'll have something that looks like that. And there it is. The whole thing is ready for blast-off. And it's just a case of popping 2 chocolate Easter eggs at the top, 1, 2, and then putting the rocket onto the launch pad, and it's ready for liftoff to deliver those valuable Easter eggs. And if you give this as a present, when they've eaten the Easter eggs, they can always use it to keep bits and pieces in. And you know, you don't just have to do a silver one, you could actually do a traditional Easter rocket in any colour you like. Look at that, a nice bright colour. Try it yourself, a traditional Easter rocket.
Hello, it's the head here. What an extremely exquisite Easter rocket. All you need is a square of card and 3 loo roll tubes, 1 for the inside of the rocket, 1 for the rocket body, and 1 to make the rocket nose and wings, all with a covering of PVA and toilet tissue. And then you're ready for blast-off to deliver your eggs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Lift-off! We have lift-off! Whoa! Careful up on the podium! Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's this? Look at this, look at this. The largest Easter egg in the... Oh, what? Ah, right. Now, let's see what I need. No, not that. Where is it? There. That's it. Just what I need for a big Easter heart attack.
What an excellent big art attack. Do you want to see my Easter picture? It was ever so cheap to make. Cheap. Do you get it? Cheap, cheap. Oh, I know I shouldn't laugh at my own yolks.
OK then, how about this? An Easter card with a difference. Take an A4 size piece of thin card or thick paper, preferably a nice light colour, and then draw a straight line with a ruler that's roughly a quarter of the way up the card. And then into the top section, draw an Easter rabbit. And here's a good design for an Easter rabbit. If you start with a sort of oval shape, a little bit flattened oval, and then put another flattened oval on the top like that, and then two floppy feet, one either side like that, and then two floppy ears, one up there and one up there like that. And it's a sort of rabbit from the back. And then draw a 6 centimetre square underneath the line that's actually underneath the rabbit's bottom. Now I'm just doing this very roughly to show you. You can measure it up and do it with a ruler. I'll straighten it up when I cut it out. So it looks like the rabbit is sitting on a 6 centimetre square box. And then take 2 pieces of chalk, a piece of white chalk and a piece of coloured chalk, and with the coloured chalk just do some shading around the right-hand side of each part of your rabbit's body. So I'm just going to rub the chalk in nice and thick around this right-hand edge of each part of its body. And one more up on the ear there, just along the right-hand edge. And then, when you've done that, take the other piece of chalk, the white chalk, and do the opposite. Do some highlights along the left-hand edge of each part of the rabbit's body. So I'm just picking out those left-hand edges and creating a sort of white chalk highlight. And again, you put the chalk on nice and thick. There you go. And again, just looking for those left-hand highlights. And then, when you've done that, just blow the chalk off, the excess dust, and the clever bit. With your finger, just smudge the chalk into the centre of each part of the rabbit's body. See how I'm doing this? I'm just smudging, first of all, that blue chalk on the right-hand edge in towards the centre, and then the white chalk, which is the highlight on the left-hand edge, also into the centre, just like that. And the effect I'm looking for is a sort of fluffy, fuzzy rabbit effect. There it is. Then take a piece of black chalk pastel or black charcoal and just pick out the outline of each of the parts of the rabbit's body that you've drawn. And you just keep very carefully to the lines like that. And you know, if you haven't got chalk or charcoal, you can use black wax crayon. You just do it very lightly, you get the same effect. And when you've drawn your black outline, just run your finger along each of those lines. Again, just to create a fuzzy line effect. You don't want to smudge it too much this time. And round it goes. It's great fun to do this, because it's messy. And again, it's that fuzzy, fluffy effect that you're looking for. And then you can leave it like that, or to give it a really professional finish, you can cover it in sticky back plastic. And the advantage of that is it also protects the chalk. So just, it can be a bit tricky to do this, so take your time with it. And just put the sticky back plastic out like that, and then place my rabbit on top of the plastic, push it down, and it something like that. Look at that. There is the old Easter bunny. Then cut him out, and when you've cut him out, turn him over and just fold the square back across its bottom, and then with a pair of scissors, just very carefully snip a slot that goes halfway across that square. And the idea is to separate half of the square from the rabbit's bum, and then snip a small triangle out there. Now watch this. If you fold that square in half up to where you've cut out the triangle, like that, and then fold the rabbit back onto the whole thing like that. When you open it out and you lift up that flap, it stands up by itself. Isn't that a good effect? Then just open it out again, lay it down, and put a dab of glue onto its bottom where the tail should go, and take a cotton wool ball or just a clump of cotton wool and press that on, and then you can write a message on the back of it, sneak into someone's bedroom the night before Easter morning and leave it for them as a surprise. Or better still, put one up around the house for everyone to see. Or you could try this, an Easter egg shape that's just an oval sitting on a 6-centimetre square. Try it yourself. An Easter card with a difference. Oh yeah, and perhaps the most important thing of all, have a happy Easter, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.